It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies. In cinema, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim, who is currently at an undisclosed location. Are you there, Jim?
I am coming in from outer worlds. I am here.
Excellent. And I bet $10,000 with an unnamed party that the merman would not show this week. Let's see if I am $10,000 richer, or is the merman here? Are you here, merman? No, sweet. Here. I just made $10K. Talk about easy money. So, with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
That's what we call loser, no chicken dinner. I don't know. Something about chicken dinners. Well, thanks to all been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, and share. And then give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform, or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/FilmRageYYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film. And you know what? We will watch it. Let's get to raging. But first, here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadowscinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5. $5.
$5 makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or a superhero movie planned?
I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event, or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca.
Now, for those of you who don't or haven't guessed, because I literally have not looked at any social media in a week, and I'm planning on not seeing any until I come back from my vacation. But in Alberta, the best province in the best country in the world, we have not, from my knowledge, ever found Coke Zero with no caffeine. But this is available in the location that I am.
Yeah, I think it's coming out soon, because I've seen it actually on advertising before the movies this week. So yeah. I haven't actually seen it yet, but it's got to be coming, because
it is.
Yeah, nice.
I am officially drinking some right now, and let me tell you,
all right.
I can't taste any caffeine in it.
There you go. All right, Coke, pay us some money now.
At least, dare us to see a terrible movie.
Yeah, give us $5.
That's all we're asking.
We're pumping your tires here.
Absolutely.
All right. So, in cinema this week, I started by seeing, I don't know what you saw first, but I saw Air, Courting a Legend.
Oh, what do you know?
Yeah. So, Air, Courting a Legend is a film about the creation and marketing of a shoe. How on earth did anyone think this could be an engaging and entertaining 2-hour movie? But that is exactly what it is. Pure entertainment, a story of one man's quest, Sonny Vaccaro, played by Matt Damon, trying to sign Michael Jordan straight out of college to a shoe contract, proved to be a fun ride with a tremendous performance, tremendous performances, from a tremendous cast. Matt Damon was solid, as he typically is, and Viola Davis is Viola Davis.
Yeah.
She's always brilliant.
She's my future wife, I know.
Yes. But what truly made this film special is the work of its supporting cast. Jason Bateman as Rob Strasser, Director of Marketing of Nike, brings a dry humor and some unexpected heart to the proceedings. Chris Tucker plays Howard White as an executive that used to play ball, and it truly beckons the question, why do we not get more films with Chris Tucker? Every time he is on screen, there is an energy that cannot be matched by many in the business. Chris Messina plays Agent David Falk and has the most entertaining scene in the movie in a profane-laden telephone tirade that had me laughing as hard as I have in a while. Plus, we had Matthew Marr as Nike's shoe guru Peter, who does what he does, as his character work over the years has always been great. And do not forget Mr. Ben Affleck, who has fun with the role as the founder, Zen master, and CEO of Nike at that time, Mr. Phil Knight. Every scene with Phil was smile-inducing, whether it was his interactions with his employees or simply watching him jog up a hill. This was also a master class in directing from Mr. Affleck, as he took a story that everyone going in knew the outcome of and still created suspense. He is a man that always gets great actors on board and is able to bring the best out of them. There are no flat performances in a Ben Affleck directed film. Affleck is an underappreciated talent as a director. And don't forget that he just happens to be the greatest actor of mine or anybody else's generation. With Air, Courting a Legend, he creates the greatest film ever about the signing of a shoe contract. Oh, and if you like 80s music, then this is the movie for you. There must have been 50 songs packed into this 2-hour movie. Artists include Dire Straits, Violent Femmes, Tangerine Dream, Run DMC, ZZ Top, Night Ranger, Big Country, REO Speedwagon, Harold Faltermeyer, Mike and the Mechanics, and Shaka Khan, just to name a few. They all added to the fun of the whole story. This film is not going to change your life, but it will entertain you for a solid 2 hours. It is pure enjoyment. It is Mondo.
Okay. Well, I don't know if we saw the same movie first, but the movie I saw, also called Air, Courting a Legend, I got to see this with my papa, and he actually liked it.
It's because it was great.
Well, I'm not going to go that far. This is a biopic, one that when I heard it was coming out, I had no desire to see. As a doc, though, I'd be clamoring to see this because I think a doc would have been amazing. So yeah, it's a biopic. I did not want to see it, but I'm glad I did because it is a story worth knowing about. I like the music, but that's because I'm a middle-aged white guy. And apparently, this was produced by an overwhelmingly large percentage of middle-aged white men. So, I did like the music, but I feel there should have probably been some music from the hip-hop era from 1984, as well as a ton of music geared for middle-aged white men, which, in the cinema that I was in, was 100% of the people that were in this movie. Yes, we see historical pictures of some hip-hop artists, like Run DMC, as Bryce has mentioned, but at least maybe the version I saw, I didn't remember hearing any Run DMC.
There was Run DMC in there. What are you talking about?
I'm going to trust you, but they
they
played
the Nike song, or the Adidas song.
No, yeah, that was like 5 seconds of the clip. But I think they played the entire song, Big Country.
I don't think they did.
Sure felt like it. So
of all the songs to have an extended cut of, though,
yeah. Exactly. So, yeah. On top of that, I know this is a story about Nike, but because it's kind of also about Michael Jordan, I kind of wish that there was a little bit more about him in the story. So maybe if they would have just added a few bit of information about Michael Jordan, except for the last line of the film that just had information about one thing about him, then maybe I would have liked it a little better. Yeah. But if they're going to put more Michael Jordan, I just don't want there to be more Michael B. Jordan. Just saying that. Right.
Yes, please, no. There is a giant distinction between those two names. Yes, that one initial.
The Michael Jordan, yes. Michael B. Jordan, No. So the acting, as Bryce has already alluded to, was amazing. And especially, I'm going to make special note of my future wife, Viola Davis, and Matt Damon. And to see Chris Tucker, as Bryce has already alluded to,
I need more Chris Tucker.
Was such a treat. I was just eating up everything he had to say.
Yeah.
The humor was all done pretty well, although I think perhaps a little too much humor. Because at times I was kind of wondering if I was watching a comedy or a biopic. So I didn't hate the fact that the comedy was in it, but I think they could have dialed it back a little bit because to me it was almost too much comedy in a film that should have had a little bit more focus in other places. All in all, it's a biopic, which normally if it was made in America, it would absolutely make me rage, especially when you have conveniently contrived writing with predictable Hollywood script. But I actually enjoyed the story enough that I didn't hate it. So I guess that means it's meh.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I didn't really expect any more from you, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm surprised I liked it as much as I did. You know, ultimately...
Are you surprised I liked it as much as I did?
Kinda, because I had a lot of problems with the script writing, so I thought you would have seen some of the gaps I did, and I did really think...
It's just fun.
Like, yeah, I would say it's a fun film.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that statement. It's a fun film, and I enjoyed learning.
At the end of the day, it's about the signing of a shoe contract, man. I don't know why you need it to be...
Well, because it's about Michael Jordan.
Well,
and
is
when you have stories about the greatest...
It's more about Michael Jordan's parents than it is about Michael Jordan.
Yeah, so have more Viola Davis in it. I got maybe total on screen, maybe 10 minutes of Viola Davis on screen.
Probably a little more than that, but...
Well, when it comes out on video, we can go back and record it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff that should have been focused around maybe the parents. I think there would have been a much deeper story, and I don't know if
you're asking for a totally different movie, man. This was about Nike.
Yeah.
This was about Nike almost going out of business, and in one last gasp, well, not almost got out. They would have been fine, but they wouldn't have been the powerhouse that they are.
How about you give them credit for the person who brought you there? Like, it was just, I don't know. It was too much middle-aged white men. They sprinkled in Chris Tucker for fun, and then we got to see Viola Davis, which was interestingly, the best thing in the movie.
Chris Tucker's character, Michael Jordan, actually insisted that he be included in this movie. That was the only thing that Michael Jordan really insisted on. And the other thing he insisted on? Viola Davis plays his mother.
That's awesome. Well, no one else could have played his mother but Viola Davis.
Well, once Viola Davis inhabits a role, who else can play it? It's only
it's impossible.
It's her role once she does it.
Yeah, she could have played everybody's mom. Doesn't matter what movie it's in. You know what? She can play my wife too. So I'm just putting that out there. Viola Davis. She's I don't know. Yeah, they needed more Viola Davis. They needed more about the Jordans. A little less. I could have taken another half an hour of this movie. So if they put in more information from them, to me, it could have made it to Mondo. But yeah, I found some of the writing a little contrived, very Hollywoodized. So for me, it was I was a fun movie. My dad liked it, so that's pretty good for an 86-year-old liking a movie. He's a big basketball fan, though. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a crowd pleaser.
Yeah, sure. I'll go with that. It was fun.
All right.
Not super fun, but fun.
Indeed.
Now there's a story.
Talk about not super. What are we doing? You got a story about something?
I've got a story about this film too. So
which film?
I was trying to find Simulant.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say from like fun to Simulant. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, to Simulant. So
Simulant.
I was supposed to find time to see this when I'm visiting my parents, and because they're fairly old and they go to bed fairly early. It was like the one night I'm like, damn, how am I going to sneak out in the middle of the day to see this movie? So I said, you know what? When I leave their place, and the closest cinema to their house is about 35 to 45 minutes away, I let them go to sleep, and I drove drove the 45 minutes to another town.
You drove 45 minutes to see Simulant? Oh,
yep.
man.
And
yeah.
The funniest thing about it, because I was going to try and see it in Toronto before I went and saw my parents, but it wasn't playing anywhere.
Really?
In the entire city of Toronto.
What?
It was playing in Etobicoke and Scarborough, but yeah.
Wow.
So that's my story about Simulant.
I was only playing on one screen in Calgary, so.
Yeah, there you go. And Calgary only has 1.5 million. Toronto has like 8, so you would have thought they might have had one.
Yeah.
Anyway, so warning up front, this is ridden with spoilers. So if you don't want them, then just fast forward about 2 to 3 minutes and you'll miss all the spoilers.
There you go.
Now, imagine one of the greatest science fiction films of all time. Okay, so we're all imagining Blade Runner. Now, imagine if the replicants actually won. Well, that may be an alternate universe of Simulant. This has one, or should say all, of the AI replicant feels of movies like AI or iRobot or even the great and powerful Blade Runner. It's in the future, but not too distant future, because they drive Ford Mustangs and smart cars, which actually is kind of smart. But their technology is more like Minority Report. So if you were a sci-fi fan like me, and I can potentially look a blind eye at some of that, because some of it was a little kooky. And there are things in it like, for example, Sam Worthington's relationships with his child, which kind of was a distraction. Personally, I felt putting his kid tie into it did not need to even be part of this story at all to make a difference in the film. It's mostly transparent, and after a while it just becomes a bit annoying. But as usual, Simu Liu was amazing as our robot master / hero / villain, depending on which way you look at this. The story did kind of play out like the trailer led us to believe, and I'm going to probably bring this up a little later. I'm just maybe giving you a bit of a hint. In fact, there's no doubt I'll be bringing this up later. But there was enough sci-fi uniqueness and a story that, although could have ended a scene earlier, was pretty satisfying overall for me. I was challenged a bit by my thoughts about having a replicant of myself and my better half, and I love it when evil robots take over the world. So spoilers are finished, but yeah, I didn't mind it. There was a lot of things about it that I think they could have changed, but I kind of like the way they maneuvered the end of the film. I didn't love it, but I didn't like it. I would say I had almost as much fun, if not as much fun, as Air.
Oh, for crying out loud.
It was surprisingly more enjoying than I thought. It was meh.
Okay, I'm waiting for the punchline. What? Really?
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
All right, Simulant is a movie about artificial intelligence that feels very artificial and not so intelligent. It is sunk by a bland story with nothing to say and bland performances that leave you wondering if they are bad actors or do they realize that what the meaningless film they have agreed to participate in and just don't care. The film is the equivalent of reheated leftovers from more satisfying meals of the past. Robbie Amell was there. He never brings anything memorable to anything he does. Jordana Brewster was utterly forgettable, as she always is. I was hoping that Simu Liu would be able to capitalize on being in that Marvel Ring movie and get some better projects, but that has not materialized with the crap he has been in since. And Sam Worthington's career continues to spiral as he stars in another film that solidifies him in the sea of mediocrity he has created with his resume of barely watchable to downright awful films. As I watched this, I waited for something interesting to happen. Nothing ever did. Just an uninspired tale of the rise of the machines with bad dialogue and pathetic, unsympathetic characters. And what was with Sam Worthington's haircut? Is that how hair will be styled in the future? That haircut alone made me rage. Thank goodness he kept his toque on for most of this film, as the hair was quite distracting. Plain and simple, this rehashed, poorly executed bore of a movie was a rage.
Yeah, you're not a very big science fiction fan, so I didn't expect
science
much.
fiction's fine if it's done right. This is garbage.
I didn't mind it. It was, you know what?
It was an imitation of better movies and poor imitation at that.
I thought the ending was good. You know what? It was surprised me a little bit because, I mean, I've already given spoilers, but you know, the fact that the robots win in the end, it was awesome. I didn't expect that to happen. I thought they would do something to make it. Yeah, no, I found it more interesting than most of them.
You didn't expect it to happen at the end. Who cares? So if Simu Liu at the end would have pulled down his pants and taken a big crap, I didn't expect that to happen, so I guess it's a meh.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that might have also made it even better. That might have made it a Mondo if Simu Liu pulled his pants down and took a crap.
Well,
I would have went all the way to Mondo. I would have went, thanks, Simu. I'm seeing a side of you I didn't know was there. No, you know, I'm not going to debate you on the fact that this is like a typical replicant type movie. There's no possible way I will. But as far as all the replicant movies, in my opinion, I thought this one was better than a lot of them because a lot of them, it is kind of that rehash.
Yeah,
this one to me, I found a little bit of a breath of fresh air because
there's only a few. There's only a few that are any good, and this isn't one of them.
Yeah, well, this one was okay.
This is just another one on the heap.
Yeah, it was just
throw it on the pile.
It's throw another pile like Air, according to legend. It was kind of about the same.
Whatever.
I got about as much enjoyment out of this as I did that last one. So
that is a lie.
It's
lies.
This was fun for me in another way. You know, I never knew if Simu Liu was going to drop trowel and give me some poop. So,
and on that note,
temperature rising.
Perfect trend.
Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
So, you know, I had a pretty meh week this week. I'd had quite a few problems with some of the things with Air, and in particular, the thing that kind of bothered me the most was that they didn't have enough. I mean, it's very white-centered film made by a bunch of white men, and I just felt they could have put a little bit more diversity.
It was about Nike in the 80s, man.
Yeah. So you think of who they've signed with Nike since the 80s.
It's not about no. It's not about the people they signed. It's about Nike in the 80s.
Yeah. And then how one black man saved Nike. So
yes.
And yet we really know nothing about him from this movie.
That's another movie.
Important. Well, they could have put a little bit of that into this movie. So
different movie.
Yeah, you know. So that was one of the things that kind of annoyed me in that respect. But you know, in regards to Simulant,
can't believe you gave it a meh.
I can't believe you didn't give.
How does Jordana Brewster not make you rage?
No, I don't love her, but I didn't mind Sam Worthington's hair. I'm still surprised that you gave Air a Mondo. So it's like,
what is going on?
Yeah, what is going on? Yeah, I had a pretty mad week, so I didn't have too many things to complain.
It's like I'm at the movies.
I got to watch a movie with my dad in the cinemas, which I haven't done in probably 20 years. I have not sat in the cinema with my dad. So the fact that he had a smile on his face and only fell asleep twice through the movie was a pretty good thing.
Absolutely. Nice. Is that it? You done?
I can't think of too much more. I had another whole direction I was going to take, but then I was like, whatever. I'm still too happy right now.
All right. We'll keep your rage a mild rage.
Well, you know.
That. At the end of it, I was happy. I got to see a movie with my dad. How is this your rage?
Kind of pissed me off, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm with my dad. You could never rage over a movie that you're with your dad. Come on.
Absolutely.
And don't get me wrong, there is rage coming in this episode. Don't you worry.
Oh, I'm sure there is. All right, sir. All right. So, my rage this week. Paint, starring Owen Wilson, opened in theaters across the U.S. last weekend. It apparently will be opening across the U.K. at the end of the month. And in Canada, there is no release date as of now. That's my rage.
That's kind of rare for us. Like, we usually get something.
It's crazy. I don't understand how...
They usually fuck over Australia. They kind of say Canada should get stuff, but
yeah.
I guess they're throwing us in the same pile as Australia now.
Well, it's the UK, not Australia. Where you got Australia from?
No, because I have a lot of friends in Australia, and I'm always like, we went and saw this in the cinema, and they're like,
okay,
we're like, we don't get that. We didn't get that. Oh, we didn't get that. We don't have that yet. We're getting that in 6 months. We didn't get that. So I'm like, that's what I'm saying.
So we're becoming Australia. All right.
Yeah, like I think the U.S.
Hey, at least we got Simulant.
At least we got Simulant. Thank the AI gods. I got to see Simulant.
So bad.
We also got to see Air.
We did. I was very excited.
Got to.
It was so good.
Got to see it.
Ben Affleck is a rare talent, my friend.
Yeah, he's rare, all right. But I think it's more of the talent is rare.
It is a rare talent.
His talent is rare.
It is a rare talent.
Yeah, you're right. His talent is rare.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
So I think you were going to plan on giving us something good to watch coming out. Did that ever happen?
So I literally sat there on IMDb going through just random, like just pulling up films that I like and then just clicking on every single actor, every minor actor, everything, just trying to come up with an Undoubted. And I couldn't. I spent an hour and a half. I must have gone through 150 actors, and I could not come up with an Undoubted. And I'm like, what is going on? I mean, I was close a couple times, but then just glaring. Like, they made this one choice. It's like, there's no way. So let's not even talk about it. So then I'm like, well, maybe Doubted. And I'm looking, so I pull up a few. And even Doubted is so hard. I got nothing. And I spent 2 hours trying to find something.
So did you look at all of our favorite Korean and Japanese directors too?
Yes, and there's just
okay.
Yeah, I got nothing because the ones that we really really like are already on, and I don't know.
And then you just couldn't come up. Well, you know what? That's the thing about the Doubted and the Undoubted. We don't make them so that it's easy to make those lists, right?
Yeah.
Like if somebody's doubted, that is terrible. Like the fact that they could be doubted is they're choosing the worst possible movies that could be made.
Yes, like even bad actors can be in a good film. It's just,
yeah, of course. Just all of a sudden something happens and
because you're like, well, I'll come up with like a really bad actor like Jordana Brewster or Robbie Amell, but then they're in some movie that you're like. Because that was my first thought. I'm like, okay, well, these two are going to be doubted. And then I thumbed through it, and they both been in some weird film right in the middle where it's like, I love that movie. Crap. It's like, they're playing some bit part, the third cousin on the father's side, and nobody, they have like 3 lines in it. It's like, oh well, they're in the movie, and I guess they're not doubted.
Yep, that's the rule. So
I would like to apologize. I put in the work. I really did. I
trust
I
you.
couldn't find anything. I just feel like I feel like I let everybody down.
Well, you did, but that's okay.
I'll get over it.
Well, we're gonna find. Yeah, exactly. You probably did what? I already forgot. No, but I'm sure we'll find it by osmosis soon enough, because there's quite a few directors we've seen of late from other countries where we're like, hey, yeah, they've got a little bit more films. Like we were seeing a lot of.
I gotta actually
Malaysia
maybe
a while ago.
Yeah, Malaysia.
So
I gotta go into maybe
Malaysian directors.
Yeah, and maybe I should be going into some Australian stuff too, because man, did they have a resurgence? And I really didn't focus on that at all too. So there's still some avenues, but
Iceland too.
I just got in this weird spot. I got in this spiral where I just started just clicking on people, just trying to find something, and it was ugly.
You might want to go back to some Italian horror films. Maybe there's somebody in there you haven't found yet.
Perhaps.
You know what? Well, with me on holidays, doing as little as possible, it's probably good that you don't find too much for me to do. I still may get to see another movie with my dad before.
Nice.
But people aren't going to get an unfiltered viewpoint if I'm having joy holding my dad's hand in the movie theater.
Indeed. All right, so you got nothing?
No.
That's
I was
cool.
gonna say, Viola Davis is still mesmerizing, but that's just reminding people to check out our mesmerized
Everybody
list.
knows that.
Yeah, filmrageyyc.com.
Yes. You'll notice one glaring omission on that list. Somebody we've talked about today.
Yeah, that we probably, if Murray and I were the only ones on this podcast.
By the way,
then Ben Affleck would be probably on the repulsive list.
As a director, there's probably still no chance because you probably gave too many mez out. I guarantee you've never given a rage on a Ben Affleck directed movie.
You're probably right, because even that one he did for...
Because he's done, I think he's only directed 5. He didn't direct that.
Which is that?
The one on Prime. The one with What's-Her-Head.
Oh, I thought.
That's what
he produced it, didn't he?
Probably. He produces everything he's in.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't rage on him, but I do have a lot of Maz.
Yeah, see, I've got a lot of Mondos. Because, he's almost as talented a director as he is an actor.
Yeah, I would probably say he's a better director than he is an actor.
Wow, that is high praise, my friend. That puts him in the upper echelon.
Considering that I find, for the most part, Ben Affleck repulsive, but as far as the director's concerned, he's a pretty meh kind of guy.
I don't know why you say such silly things. Everybody knows you're kidding.
No, that's the thing is most people agree with me that he
are cracking me up,
You were
dude.
an anomaly. You were an anomaly.
You are cracking me up.
You just seeing Ben Affleck, which is your physical manifestation of you on screen, because usually he plays a smarmy bastard and you're kind of like, I wish I was a smarmy bastard, and then for some reason you like that. He has one role
that is
plays
not
in almost
true.
Every movie except The Accountant. He was fantastic in The
Yes, he was. He's got uber range. I don't know what you're talking about. He could star as anything.
He could star as anybody that's smarmy and is an asshole. Yeah, I would say that's probably
he
true.
can do that too. The man can do it all.
All right. Well, we're not going anywhere with this, but you're right. He's never going to make any of our lists.
No, because you guys, whatever, You guys like to play your little game and keep them off the list, but that's fine. We all know how you really feel.
Yes, they do.
All right, well, should we get on to the main event here?
Let's get... Oh, it's the main event, all right.
Yes.
Well, dear listeners, it took 2 years of scouring the planet, a search that would have made Indiana Jones or Lara Croft give up, a mission no one thought could be accomplished, but it has finally happened. Me, baby boy Bryce, has located what appears to be the last known physical copy of the 2002 Britney Spears drama rom-com road movie, Crossroads. Jim managed to dodge this bullet 2 years ago due to the film's scarcity, meaning that you cannot find this movie streaming anywhere. I wonder why. I sure hope this is not foreshadowing. Oh, I'm sorry. I misspoke. What I meant to say is that I sure hope this is foreshadowing. It's funny how one word can change things so much. This week, our baldest wonders come back to their god of rage to get what they fully deserve, an open-handed slap dose of rage delivered by moi, the Dude de la Rage. Now, Jim, you might have thought you had dodged a bullet 2 years ago, but as we like to say here on Film Rage, on a regular basis, you can't hide from the rage and you know that it's toxic. Ooh la la, wee wee, Brittany. Indeed you are. Indeed you are.
Ho ho.
Ho, ho, indeed. So for 2 years, I lived footloose and fancy-free, secretly thinking my life is perfect. Sure, every now and then, I'm forced to watch terrible films to fuel my rage, but I always thought, I don't have to worry. Bryce will never find Crossroads. I was certain every single copy of this film would have been destroyed. Didn't think for one moment. There has to be a reason no one wants to stream this, either legally or otherwise. So imagine my surprise when Bryce traveled miles away into the wilderness to find this film.
It's true.
I guess there really is a Satan who delivers pain and suffering on those who deserve it. The premise of this story is 3 friends make a pact to be friends forever. And then they decide to pack a time capsule of their dreams to be opened on graduation day.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Come grad, none of them can actually stand each other. But when they reopen the box, in some conveniently contrived plot twist, they instantly decide to change their plans, become friends again, and drive across the country.
That's nice.
Along the way, destroying any semblance of talent of any qualified actors in this film, like making Justin Long actually repulsive, making Anne Aykroyd repulsive,
No.
and Zoe Saldana also repulsive.
Wow.
Not making, but just because she is, Britney Spears was also repulsive. This is an MTV movie, so the music was actually pretty good, except I did find out an NSYNC song. Remember we were trying to remember that was I think it was last week. And one of the songs is Bye Bye Bye.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they sang that. It was an extended music video.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So again, on this, I could not hide from this rage. Watching Britney limp sync to Madonna in her underpants was a highlight of this movie, though.
That sounds delightful.
Yes. And if she was supposed to be playing a teenager, this was foreshadowing of how creepy I thought I was about to feel when watching this. But we also got a karaoke contest. Unbelievable scenes in a bar. Terrible girl sharing. Forced love subplot. Completely horrifying everything. Where nothing made sense. And we got 3 girls pretty much giggling nonstop for no reason whatsoever. And then some more giggling. Along with more singing. Along with the radio as they drive in the car. And this happens all the time. There are moments in my life when I've come to a crossroad. One path takes you places you've never been. Places that are exciting and new. And once you got there, your life is better. And you have grown as a person, and you have enlightenment, and live in a utopian state of life and living happily until the end of time. This is the path that I was traveling on for my many years thus far, up until the moment I saw this movie. That path is a much different path. It's a much darker path. I mean, I was a good person. I was learning and trying to be a positive influence on the world. I carried joy in my heart and could always find the good in everyone or anybody, even in people like Bryce and Murray, which has been a very tough road, I have to tell you, to try and stay focused on the good. But then I hit this crossroad called Crossroad. I traveled this swerve in the road. I swerved again. And now I can't come back. There is no coming back. I have felt what the reaping feels like. Everyone I know can stay on the path to heaven, but now I can never, ever come back from the road, the crossroad that I have been on. There was before Crossroad, or BC, and now there is after Crossroad, or as I like to say, the day that my soul died. And it died. It died a lot, and died really hard. So that I call after death. AD, as in after the death of my soul. From this day forward, I am living in a new timeline. I will start counting my years no longer by the current timeline, but by the timelines of BC and AD. From this day forward, and today is the first day of my new life, I say year 1, day 1, AD. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
This was way worse than I could ever have imagined. And now I know. I thought I could imagine what hell looked like. But now I'm living in this spiral of hell the rest of my days. I now know why no one could find this. Nobody ever wanted this to be found.
Yes. It's something. I can't honestly say that I've ever seen it. And
well, I did save it, so it is something that you
I want that
watch.
copy back, because I think I could probably sell it for big bucks, because it might be the only one in the world.
It could be the only copy in the world. Maybe Britney wants to buy it back.
Maybe. I wouldn't blame her. She doesn't want that out there.
She wants to buy it back.
Yes. All right. Well, that was quite delightful. Thank you for that.
That was truly awful.
Well, worth the wait. Yeah, well, it has been like 2 years, I think, since that was original. And you're like, I'm sorry, I can't find it anywhere. I'm like, really? So then I went on and I was trying to find it, and I could not find it anywhere. I even went through to like some nefarious ways where it would say it's Britney Spears Crossroads, and then some Ralph Macchio Crossroads movie would come up. And I'm like, no! Because it would start, and I'm like, yes! And then it's like, Ralph Macchio, no!
No!
Yeah.
And Ralph Macchio's Crossroad is also not that great.
No, it's not.
It's not as bad as this. I can tell you that for a fact.
I have seen the Ralph Macchio Crossroads, and it is not good, but it's not. Yeah. It's not terrible.
It's not Britney Spears.
It's not Britney Spears bad. All right, sir. So we're pulling from Casey's bag, I heard. Is that a thing?
That's the thing. We have to do it. The reaping has come to me, and now it's coming to you.
All right. So, So I'm sorry. Is it just me that's watching this?
No,
it's both of us.
Bag.
Okay, yeah. Right. Okay.
Don't you worry. You'll get yours the next week.
Yeah, I guess it will be my turn next week. See, now it's making sense. This makes sense. You, both of us, me next week. That's how it should be all the time.
And it's the way it is.
But instead, it's Bryce, Jim and Bryce, Jim, Bryce. Like, what is that?
You know what I'm thinking we should do to change our Rage or Dare from our listeners? I think that we should. I think we should have them specify who has to watch the movie.
I think that's a terrible idea because you're on the social medias, and I don't even know what the social medias are. So
I'm not going to steer them in any direction.
I think that you will. No, the way we're doing it's fine. Just stop cheating and stop having me do it every week.
Okay. Well, when they start sending me more dares for you, I will tell you what they say. If they say this is actually supposed to be for Bryce.
Whatever.
Well,
Anyways, back to Casey's.
Okay, what have you got for us, mister?
It is sort of a remake because it was a TV show and now it is a movie, and I believe, if I'm correct, I believe it stars Johnny Depp.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
You are so correct.
So the name of this film is Dark Shadows.
Yeah, that's.
Is it that bad? I don't really remember it being that bad. Is it that bad?
I kind of don't remember it being like.
I don't really remember it. That's why I think it couldn't have been that bad because I don't have like a strong opinion. Like when I pulled it, I wasn't like cringing like I usually am. Now that doesn't mean by the end of this I won't be, but.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I mean, this is kind of at the middle point of Johnny Depp and his awkward creepiness acting that he would just pigeonhole himself into.
Yeah.
So.
We'll see.
Now I'm kind of looking forward to it.
It's in Casey's bag, so it'll probably be absolutely freaking dreadful. But I don't remember it being that bad. The TV show was that bad.
It's funny how.
Yeah.
How that works.
Why did they make this movie? That is crazy that you would choose Dark Shadows to make I
don't know, maybe all the other ones were taken.
Maybe. Or maybe
they keep bringing back movies. I'm just waiting for them to bring back I Love Lucy. Why not?
Why not?
They could just CGI her in and just have Lucy do wacky things. That would be a movie I would absolutely want to see.
Hey, I could go for some Lucy.
Put her into a phone chip company instead of the chocolate scene, and have her put all those microchips in her mouth. Just like CGI.
I have no idea what's going on right now. You lost me. You had me. You had me, and then you lost me.
Well, now I want to see. I don't really ever. I mean, us. I'm speaking for us now.
Yeah, I do know
don't
us.
Like anything really remade, and of all the things that could be interesting, either the Carol Burnett show or the Lucy. I Love Lucy. I think either one of them could come back and would be better than most things that come out now.
That's not a high bar, man.
It's true. It's absolutely true.
All right, sir.
Good times.
Good
I will
times
be
indeed.
floating myself back into Calgary at some point.
Yeah. Are we doing this live next week? Or are you still abroad?
Yeah. We've got Calgary Underground Film Fest starting.
Oh yeah, that's next week. Holy crap.
Same week as our episode, so we may have to get creative.
All right. Yes. No, we'll get it all in and then some. There'll probably be a bonus episode in there somewhere, I would imagine.
Watch for a bonus.
Yes.
People.
At least one bonus. I'm promising right now at least one bonus episode next week.
There we go. Maybe next week. Maybe the other. Who knows? It'll be a bonus, and you will all be surprised.
Yes. All right, sir.
Wow. Thanks for listening. The computer's not broken. I'm just messing with you. Thanks to the extended Film Rage family. You can find them in our show notes. Thanks to Casey from The Nerdy Photographer, the voice of Rage or Dare, and he is our god of rage. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We're always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, and send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please, please, pretty please, 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 please make us a rage. That's it for this other week. A rage button.
Rage on!